Kevin Hart, From Pain to Power, The Untold Journey, 2025 documentary feature. By Global News Feature Desk, October 8, 2025. Prologue. The Night That Changed Everything. The sound of metal twisting, the echo of breaking glass, a flash of headlights cutting through the darkness of a California highway. It was September 1st, 2019, the night that Kevin Hart's life came to a screeching halt. He had always been fast talking, fast working, fast rising. But on that night, trapped inside a mangled Plymouth Barracuda, time stopped. They say life flashes before your eyes in moments like that. For Kevin Hart, it wasn't fame or money that came to mind. It was his family, his past, and the unshakable question, what have I really built? That crash didn't just break bones, it cracked open a man who had spent years laughing through pain. And from that wreckage, the most powerful chapter of Kevin Hart's story began. Chapter 1. A childhood built on chaos. Born in Philadelphia on July 6, 1979, Kevin Darnell Hart came into a world of noise, struggle, and survival. His father, Henry, battled drug addiction and frequent run-ins with the law. His mother, Nancy Hart, carried the weight of the world, raising two sons while working at the University of Pennsylvania. Their home was small, the bills were big, but inside those walls, young Kevin discovered the weapon that would one day define him: laughter. "I made people laugh before I made them listen," he once said. In school, humor was his armor. On the streets, it was his shield. He would mimic teachers, imitate classmates, and even joke about being short before anyone else could. But behind that humor was hunger. He wasn't trying to be funny for fame, he was trying to survive. Chapter 2. The Man with the Mic. In the late 1990s, while his friends chased stability, Kevin chased stages. He performed in grimy comedy clubs around Philadelphia, earning barely enough to eat. Sometimes he bombed, sometimes he killed, but he always came back. His first major break came after winning several amateur stand-up competitions. That victory took him to New York, the city that would either make him or break him. It nearly broke him. Crowds booed, critics dismissed him. One heckler once shouted, "You're too small to be funny." Kevin's reply was, "Then you must have missed the big joke." His perseverance turned ridicule into rhythm. He studied legends like Richard Pryor, Eddie Murphy, and Chris Rock, not to copy them, but to understand how truth could be turned into art. By 2001, he had earned small roles in TV shows like Undeclared and The Big House. But his rise was far from smooth. Hollywood didn't quite know what to do with him. A short, high-pitched comedian from Philly wasn't exactly the standard leading man. Chapter 3. The Comedy Revolution. The turning point came in 2009 with I'm a Grown Little Man. For the first time, audiences didn't just laugh, they connected. His stories about relationships, fatherhood, and personal flaws struck a nerve. He wasn't telling jokes, he was confessing truths. Seriously Funny, 2010, Laugh at My Pain, 2011, and Let Me Explain, 2013, turned him into an international star. By 2015, he was selling out arenas once reserved for rock stars: Madison Square Garden, O2 Arena, and Staples Center. He had become the first comedian in history to gross over $15 million from a single tour. But the higher he rose, the heavier the air became. Chapter 4. Fame, Failure, and Fire. With fame came scrutiny. A leaked tweet controversy in 2018 led to his resignation from hosting the Oscars. The internet turned savage, headlines brutal. It was the first time Kevin realized how fragile fame really was. "You can lose everything in a screenshot," he told The Breakfast Club. But instead of retreating, he rebuilt. He launched Heartbeat Productions and Laugh Out Loud Network platforms designed to empower other comedians, especially black creators, to tell their own stories. The empire was growing. The money was flowing. Then came the crash, literally. 2019, Malibu, midnight. Kevin's vintage Barracuda skidded off the road, rolled into a ditch, and nearly ended his life. He suffered multiple spinal fractures and underwent emergency surgery. Doctors warned he might not walk normally again. For months, he disappeared from the public eye. No stage, no cameras, just silence. But that silence